All right, y'all. So Mikey Garcia puts on a clinic. I mean, he put on a clinic against Adrien Broner. Now, one judge scored it 117-111. Another judge scored two other judges scored it 116-112. Unanimous decision. Now, the 117-111, I pretty much agree with that score. But I thought Broner didn't win no more than 2 rounds in this fight. I gave him 2 rounds. That was it. The first and maybe I think the 9th round or 10th round. Yeah, the 10th round. The first and 10 I gave him. But all I gotta say is that it's not the fight that I expected. Okay. At first, I should have stuck with my first prediction. I predicted that Mikey Garcia was going to win this fight. And then I reviewed it and realized, you know what? Broner has the size advantage, and he is undefeated against fighters that he has a size advantage over. And Broner still had a multiplicity of skills, so I thought he was gonna not respect Garcia and and do what the hell he wanted to do with him. But again, like I said, the outcome was totally different, totally what I did not expect. It seems like Broner gave Garcia so much respect from the first, pretty much throughout the entire fight. Okay. And in return, Garcia didn't even show Broner any respect for the first half of the fight. He kept coming forward. He kept getting the shots off. The one thing about Garcia I did not expect him to do was throw a lot of body punches, and he literally did that to keep Broner stationary. Because every time he threw those body punches and the combinations upstairs, downstairs, upstairs combinations, and followed with a couple of short uppercuts in the inside, Broner kept shaking his head and said, "No, that didn't hurt me. That's bullshit." I think Broner was hurt from that because he was wincing every time he got hit. So, but the fact is, he couldn't knock him out, maybe because of the weight, moving up in weight. Maybe that was telling for Mikey Garcia, but then again, Broner has a good chin, believe it or not. He's got hit hard before, particularly against Marcos Maidana and Sean Porter. He does have a good chin, so that may not be the case. Just Mikey Garcia couldn't knock out Adrien Broner, so we weren't expecting a knockout. Let's not get it twisted. But the one thing I noticed during the break, in between breaks of the rounds, when both fighters were going to their going to their corners, to their trainers, whatnot, I noticed there was too much talking going on in the Adrien Broner corner. There was a lot of arguing back and forth. See, this is what I don't like about corners, man. When you have one trainer, let that one trainer give you instructions. Don't have 2 or 3 other guys give you instructions at the same time, man. That just causes too much confusion and disarray between the fighter and the trainer, okay, in the corner, okay. That's the one thing I did not like. And the fact that Broner was also being argumentative in his corner too, because he wasn't following instructions until later in the fight, because they were asking him to press the action. Because if you look at it, some would argue that Mike Garcia maybe won the first round because it was close and it was early on, but many would argue that Mike Garcia took the second up to the 8th round after that, and that's what Broner's corner was well aware of. That they knew he was losing the fight, so they was asking him to press the action. So when Broner decided to come forward and apply the pressure on Garcia, Garcia said, "Okay, if you're gonna pressure me, I'm gonna give you angles," and that's exactly what he did. And that's another thing about Mikey Garcia that makes him an unbelievable fighter. This dude cannot only come forward pressure you, but he can also give you angles and box you, and that's exactly what he was doing. He was boxing him, giving Adrien Broner a lot of angles, which caused Broner to be discombobulated, whatnot. So. But there was, like I said, after the 10th round, that's where Broner won that round. He pressured Garcia. He was banging to the body, gained his little respect from there. But what pissed me off about it is that, what surprised me is that Broner didn't follow it up. He didn't continue the same strategy. I don't know what it was, but he just didn't continue that strategy. And I believe that's why his corner was yelling at him. All right. So, I mean, there's nothing else to be said about it. Mikey Garcia got the win. It was a good win for him. A very masterful performance by Mikey Garcia. He did talk about moving up to 147 if the fight was right. I don't know about that. Or go down to 135, for Lomachenko, or wait for the winner of Crawford or Indongo. So he's laying his options out there for now. Now, as far as Adrien Broner, well, before I get into what his future looks like, I have to say one thing. The crowd booed the hell out of Broner during the middle of the round and after the fight, okay? And they booed him because they felt that he was not trying, so he wasn't trying hard. He wasn't giving enough effort to win the fight. You know what? I disagree, man. And I don't think that Broner deserved that type of treatment. Okay, yes, I've been very critical about him and his, his career and his, his antics outside the ring. But the man tried his best. Okay, he tried his best. He tried as hard as he could to win the fight. But he was in there against a guy who was very good technically. Now we know he's a very good technical fighter, and he's well seasoned, Mikey Garcia. So this was not going to be an easy fight for him to win, as most of the Adrien Broner fans had predicted it would be. Okay, so you gotta, he tried his best. He went all 12 rounds against an elite fighter and lost. Okay, so yeah, I think that was I thought that was unfair for the crowd to boo him like that. And of course, it was funny about that in the post-fight interview with Jim Gray. Adrien Broner was asked, well, do you think that, pretty much, Jim Gray was like, look, this was a do or die fight for you. And Adrien Broner was like, fuck that, that's bullshit. This ain't no do or die fight for me, man. Look, if I fight tomorrow, all these motherfuckers will come back and see me fight. Okay? I'm AB, man. He said, I draw money. He was just going off, man, because he didn't like the notion of two notions. One, he was the underdog in this fight. And shout out to the bookkeepers. They actually got the odds right. And second is the fact that he didn't like the fact that he was perceived that now will be a gatekeeper. And that's what I'm going to get to right now. Does Adrien Broner is a gatekeeper now? At this point, yeah. I just don't know. I mean, he could be. I think he's a gatekeeper at this point because this dude's lost 3 big fights. All right? He's lost 3 big fights. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. If he can get, he's in line to get in. He's in line to get any big money fights after this. So after the fact that he wasn't able to come through against a smaller guy who's a natural featherweight. Okay, so anyhow, yeah. Once again, props to Mikey Garcia for a very good, very masterful performance. Now I want to go ahead and chime into the Charlo and Jorge Sebastian fight real quickly. Now, that fight ended a 4th round TKO. Sebastian was not even in the fight from the beginning. He got outworked in 4 rounds, obviously. And the news was that the fact that Sebastian has suffered a leg injury. I think it was his left leg, and he put some tape on it. And the commission does not allow tapes to be taped around the knee, so that he had to remove it. So, obviously he had to fight with the injured leg. Even so, I don't think that would have been much of a factor anyway, because he wasn't in the fight from the beginning. He was in there against a much bigger and technical and powerful, stronger guy. I mean, Charlo, people say that Kovalev be stinging people with his jabs, which is true, but Charlo really be stinging people with his jabs. He put people down with his jabs. But anyways, Charlo gets the TKO win. He called out Gennady Golovkin, because now he is the mandatory challenger to the WBC title, which I want to touch up on that real quickly. So in case you guys don't know, Golovkin's WBC title will not be on the line against Canelo Alvarez. Only the WBA and the IBF title will be on the line. And if Golovkin loses that fight against Canelo Alvarez, he will be stripped of his WBC title. Man, you know what? I gotta get my thoughts about that in another video. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts about this. Where do you see both men, Mikey Garcia and Adrien Broner, go for here? I'm out. Peace.